After losing in New Orleans Week 1, the Buccaneers find themselves as 5-point home favorites against the Saints, according to Fox Bet. But this time around, Tampa will have a new receiver in Antonio Brown, which we've been talking about all week. So, Shannon, who wins, the Saints or the Bucs?
I think it's going to be close. I think the Bucs are Bucs. I think start with Saints first, Skip. I think the Saints are a little better defensively than what they were. They get some guys back. Lattimore has not been the same. He's not that same dog that I saw when he won defensive rookie of the year. Jack Rabbit is still Jack Rabbit. You can double move him. You better double move him, because if you just try to run simple routes on him, he's squatting on everything, Skip. So he's looking to get to the house. But you can double move him. The Saints have been playing with fire lately, Skip. You look at their last 4 games, they won by 6, they won by 3, they won by 3, they won by 3. And Skip, I love Drew. I was in the league when Drew got drafted, played against him when I was in Denver my last couple of years, and watching him play up close then, I never thought he would be what he is now. And he's turned into a top 10 all-time quarterback, Skip. But he's lost it, and it's like Greg Maddux, Skip. Greg Maddux only threw like 85, 86. But when it started getting down to the low 80s, maybe even 70s, you really noticed it. You're starting to see a lot of balls skip that Drew Brees could throw in his sleep. And he's never had the most powerful arm. No one is ever going to confuse Drew Brees with Brett Favre or John Elway or Patrick Mahomes. That was never going to happen. But if you notice, Skip, those throws outside that he could routinely make, he's not making anymore. And who's been the beneficiary of that? Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara has 25 catches in the last 3 games. So a lot of these throws are him coming out of the backfield, flat routes, angle routes, screen plays. And that's caused me some concern. The Bucs defense is outstanding. They can pressure you with 4, but Todd Bowles is not satisfied pressuring you with 4. He will bring those linebackers. He will bring a safety. He'll catcall you with the corner blitz. He'll do a lot of different things. He's not going to let you get comfortable. And so that concerns me. Now, this is what I might be willing to do. You might be willing to convince me to do this. I'm liking the Bucs 27-26. But if you're willing to give me, say, 6 points, I'd be willing to take the Saints.
I am not willing to do that.
Yeah. Now, I've been giving you, hold on. I gave you points against your sorry Cowboys, and I gave you points last night against the 49ers. Now, I deserve something. You always see, this is how you got up on me to begin with. See, I give you points, and when it comes down to you giving me points, you're like, nah, I'm not going to give you anything. No, give me my points back.
I already have a score pick right here, and I'm not going to change my score.
Okay, well, give me the points.
I got Tampa Bay 27-24, so I got the same points scored that you do. I got Brady and company scoring 27, but you've got it 26.
27-26.
And I got it to 24. And I believe it's going to come down to a Ryan suck-up field goal. And I believe he'll make it because he has been highly impressive to me. He's 15 of 17 on field goals this year. I know he's had rough patches back in his career, various stops, but his body language has been strong to me and stable all year. So do I trust him to make a 45-yard field goal to win the game? I do, and I think it's going to come down to that. So my point to you is there's no way I'm going to give you points against Drew Brees, because this is for our younger viewers out there. You should sit back and appreciate what you're going to get to see on Sunday night. These are 2 of the fiercest competitors you'll ever see in the history of this league. Tom Brady versus Drew Brees.
Over 1,100 touchdowns and over 150,000 yards.
It is greatness against all-time greatness. I know they're both in nice guy packages, so it's hard to think of them as fierce competitors, but they are. Both of them are. And you need to appreciate and respect and stand back and say, with some awe, this is a matchup. This is 43-year-old versus 41-year-old, first ballot Hall of Famers. You can argue this all day and all night, but they are both 2 top 5 quarterbacks.
Top 5, okay. I know Brady. I'm not debating Brady.
Brees is debatable, and I don't disagree with your late career assessment of him. He struggles. But you want to talk about mentally tough? You want to talk about guts? You want to talk about raising his level when it's time to raise? He'll raise it in this game.
Well, you're going to have to.
This game is why Tom Brady chose the team that used to be known as the Buccaneers. This is the one he circled. It's me against Drew. Didn't know at that point it'd be on Sunday night, but he knew it'd be a big stage game, probably for all the marbles in the division. So right now it's 6-2 Tampa versus 5-2 New Orleans. I'd say this game is going to go a long way toward who wins this division.
It'd be a commanding lead.
Right? So that's why I can't give you points on this, because I have too much respect for Sean Payton and Drew Brees. And that defense has really struggled since opening day. But I told you, I think it was misleading on opening day, because as unfair an opening day schedule game as I have ever seen is Tom Brady, new to Tampa, getting thrown into the fire at New Orleans on opening day with no preseason because of the pandemic, no OTAs except virtual, all new teammates, all new offense, all new coaching staff. What did you think was going to happen at New Orleans? I told you as soon as I saw the schedule, this is rigged for the Buccaneers. Well, it's just rigged for them to lose, and they lost. And Tom made two errors. The one was not his fault to Mike Evans. Mike Evans stopped on an option route, and it cost them.
Would you have felt better if they had opened, let's just say for the sake of argument, they could have opened at Green Bay. Would you have felt better with them opening at Green Bay as opposed to New Orleans?
Yeah, a little better. Well, I just would have. It's a division rival, obviously, and he gets dropped. He like parachutes into a long-standing division rivalry and has to take it up a notch, not being able to trust anything around him. It's all new.
Here to go.
You don't get any auditions. You can't get into any game action in 4 preseason games with any of your receivers. You have no idea that Mike Evans is going to stop on an option route. You don't know, because you can't really practice that. It doesn't happen that way in practice, but it's going to happen when they're throwing different defenses at you in a game. And then I told you, Brady is throwing to Justin Watson, who's not even in the rotation anymore, on a speed out. Well, no, it's not thanks to me. It's thanks to him.
No, it's thanks to you. Yo, Brady.
Brady tried him twice on a middle screen with options on 2 speed outs, and he chooses both times Justin Watson on a speed out. But the first time is at New Orleans against one of the great cluers in the history of this game. And Janoris Jenkins is really, really good at cluing. Yeah. He will jump like nobody will jump around.
Everybody knows you got a double move, Jackrabbit.
36 yards later, it was 6 points for the home team, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so New Orleans scored 17 points off turnovers in that game, because they also muffed a kickoff and gave them a field goal. So 2 touchdowns off the 2 Brady interceptions and a field goal off a muffed kickoff. Well, what if they clean their act up on that? Do you think they got a shot? Yeah, they definitely have a shot in this game.
Skip, I mean, no Michael Thomas. I mean, he got injured in that game. He finished the game, but they haven't had Michael Thomas since week 1.
Okay,
Drew Brees has missed the last 2 practice days. He's been throwing on the side.
With a bum shoulder.
Yeah.
Want to bet he'll be out there throwing?
Yeah, I know he'll be out. But you told me, remember, your guy Dak had a bum shoulder, and he was out there, and you said he didn't look like himself against Philly.
Okay. All right, so is Michael Thomas going to play? I don't know for sure, but I'm going to guess he will try to play in this game. I don't know that for a fact.
Right.
But here's my issue. So you look at the Buccaneers as a football team. They're now 7th in points scored and 4th in points allowed. That's a football team.
Yeah, that's a recipe for success.
Thank you. So now the Saints are 7th in points scored, but they're 23rd in points allowed. And after those 3 turnovers they forced in game number 1, they only have 3 more turnovers in the last 6 games. Only 3 in the last 6. So all of a sudden, guess what they're up against? Todd Bowles' defense leads the league in takeaways.
You can be the other way, Skip. You can be 7th in points allowed and 23rd in points scored and win. But it can't be the other way. Because for the Ravens, we were number 1 in points scored, and we were in the we were number 1 in points allowed. We were in the 20s in points scored.
Okay.
So you can be the other way, but it can't be.
Can't go the defensive way. I do agree with that.
You can't give up points and score so few and score more.
Do I think New Orleans will take it up a notch on defense in this game? Yep, I do.
They're gonna have to.
They will have to, and they know they have to, and they will, which is why it will be a battle. But in the end, I don't bet against one guy in sports, and it's that guy who wears 12 now in Buccaneers colors.
Oh, Chris Godwin?
Yeah. I didn't say, I don't know what number he is.
He's
Right?
14.
14. I said 12. I don't bet against Tom Brady in games like this because this is the one that he is driven to win. This is a revenge game for him. He knows what happened on opening day. I think he's embarrassed and humiliated by what happened at New Orleans.
Well, these are the type of games, Skip, that when I played, you try to send a message. So New Orleans. Y'all think New Orleans gonna win the division? Y'all think they're one of the better teams in the NFC? Okay, we're gonna show you.
Okay.
That's the way you do it, Skip. You take it up, and sometimes you're right. You play a team like the Jets, you're like, okay, we got the Jets. We probably can get away with our C game, and next thing you know, you're in a dogfight. The game is closer than it should be. But these guys, they know what the Saints represent. They know who's at quarterback. They know who's on the opposing sideline with Sean Payton. They will be ready to play.
Okay. Now, for the biggest X factor that we've seen in this league in a long, long time, Tampa Bay at 6-2, leading the division by half a game, just added Antonio Brown, a young man that you don't love because you think he can really tear a team apart. We have seen him really hurt the Pittsburgh Steelers and then turn the Oakland Raiders upside down, and he lasted about 10 days in New England, and he's back after an 8-game suspension, and they are going to throw him into this fire.
Right.
And I believe Tom Brady believes in AB enough that he's going to get some I'm going to guess he'll get 5 targets, 4 catches, maybe 50-ish yards, but he's going to get thrown into what has been a pretty to very successful mix.
Right.